Okay, so you see the title of the video. This video was brought on by something I saw yesterday. I actually saw this a while ago, but I didn't think it was a big deal. On June 2nd, which is like 2 days ago, Florian Wirtz would like to wear the number 10 shirt at Liverpool FC. He currently wears it at Leverkusen, as well as the number 17 shirt for Germany. At the Reds, Alexis McAllister wears the number 10. Because yes, Wirtz does wear the number 10. McAllister obviously wears the number 10 at Liverpool. If you look at that tweet now on Twitter, it has the context at the bottom that says Florian Wirtz himself denies it. Apparently, he put something on his IG about that article that I spoke about. I went to IG, I searched Wirtz. This is his official account, okay? And then he put out a story. Who says I want the number 10? I respect players. Don't believe everything what's written. So he is actively just denying that story that Florian Plettenberg put out there. And now the main reason why I did this, because Argentina fans were literally in his comments under his latest picture saying that McAllister's number 10. When I look at Florian's bio, it literally says there FC Bayern, and his header is a picture of him and Harry Kane. Harry Kane plays for Bayern. Wirtz has very obviously rejected Bayern Munich for Liverpool. If you connect all those dots, it would make sense to assume that they put out this article, which is obviously a lie since Wirtz himself denied it. The fact that a player would come out themselves and deny a story that a journalist put out there for a club that the player rejected, it's not a good look, you know? Obviously journalists, they are journalists, it's their job to know people, to get information, to put information out there. For the most part, a lot of journalists are just mouthpieces. I'm specifically talking about Fabrizio Romano, who I've had blocked for a very long time. The main reason why is because, you know, the whole Mason Greenwood stuff, tweeting about him when he never tweeted about any other United player on loan. And besides that, right, when it comes to Liverpool, ever since Liverpool publicly apologized for talking to Van Dijk while he was at Southampton, Liverpool have not made any transfer news public anymore. So look at this tweet from Romano, right? Florian Wirtz is going to Liverpool, the deal is almost closed, they're negotiating the last details. I could have told you that, but he's a journalist, so he's more trusted. You know what I mean? He says a whole lot of nothing. He's usually spot on about a whole lot of other teams. And the thing about Fabrizio Romano is more of an internet personality. And that's my issue with him, right? Now, I'm not saying you can't have a personality or whatever, but you're constantly going live and saying the most basic things about something. I'm just like, alright, bro. One of the journalists that I do actually follow is David Ornstein. I think he's very reliable just because of how he tweets and how he puts out news. For example, this tweet about Mbeumo, right? And he said Mbeumo decided he wanted to join United, and United are expecting to open talk in bid to sign the 25-year-old forward. He never made another tweet about Mbeumo again. His last tweet was about Jadon Sancho. For example, right? Bruno Fernandes has decided he wants to stay at Man United instead of going to Saudi. Instead of making one tweet about it, Romano made 5 different tweets about it, when you could have just made one tweet and said the whole thing. Now look, it does give him engagement, it does give him followers. Again, that's the point. You're looking for these social media interactions instead of just being a journalist, is what I'm trying to say. Now this video wasn't a hate on Romano. I just wanted to make the point that journalists are just like us. They have biases. Again, Florian Plettenberg is a Bayern fan. So he put out that story, which was not true, as denied by Wirtz himself, but he still put it out there because he's a Bayern fan and Wirtz rejected Bayern. And here's another story here, right? Bryan Mbeumo is hoping for a wage increase to $250,000 a week if he leaves Brentford this summer. So the source is Mr. Hardy Sport. Now you go to Mr. Hardy Sport, he's a Newcastle fan, as his pinned tweet is exclusive to Nali interview. And Newcastle are one of the teams that were interested in Mbeumo, but he chose United. No wages have been confirmed, no, the length of the contract hasn't even been confirmed, they're still in negotiation. But this Newcastle fan put the story out there to try and push that agenda. You see what I mean? So he has bias for Newcastle. So look, the point that I'm trying to make here is these journalists, unless they are the players themselves or the agents or the managers, they don't really know that much. But yeah, no, that's the point of this video, and this will be the last video I make on the transfer window until we sign a player, because I can't be bothered, man. I can't.